Hi guys, I hope that you're all doing well. We're here with a general reading. Everybody is welcome. Before we get into the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I'm seeing a new beginning, a new chapter that you are starting. There may be a part of yourself that may be like more tricky or difficult that you're working with right now. Like maybe unlearning some stuff. This can be shadow work that you're doing. This can also be dealing with somebody that may be frustrating at times too. Let's see. New chapter, new beginning, taking a chance on something. Maybe in a space that feels somewhat unfamiliar. There may be somewhere that you're going. Maybe to new land, something along those lines. You could be exploring something, trying something out. This is like a testing ground. This would feel like a testing ground, a testing period is what I'm getting. Okay. So this is the time to kind of like practice even and see where things go, try things out, have experiences. And assess what's working and what's not working. All right, we got a lot of planetary movements here. I'm looking at Uranus, Pluto, and Scorpio coming out. So we have the Fool, the Judgment, and also the Death card. So it's like this. You're trying new things. You're putting the pieces together. If you find a piece that's not fitting or you're doing something and it's not working, change it. Allow it to evolve. So this is a time of like a lot of changes and a lot of, it feels like a liminal space sort of. It feels like transient in a way, kind of like you're in an in-between. At times, there could be pieces of yourself that's like, come on, let's break out of this. But then parts of yourself are like, I don't know about that. That doesn't feel so safe to me. Or like, do we really have to change? Is that really necessary? There may also be, for some of you, like this may not be a self-talk space. This can be people around you that are like, no, stay in that box. We don't want you to shift or don't want you to change. And that can be hard too. Especially depending on like the influence of the people around you too. They may be in a space where they may feel uncomfortable with the way that you're changing and don't know how to support that, maybe not willing to support that. But it looks like whatever that lack of support, whatever like frequency or energy that is, I'm seeing you're moving on from it. And part of the changes that you're making, it seems like it's allowing you to like create more room and bigger space for yourself and not stick around energies, for some of you, that feel hostile to you. So you may be like giving less weight to this. And this can also be a self-talk space too. Like every time I put myself down, I don't think that it's been helpful for me. And so I'm moving on from that. I'm learning how to transmute that energy, and I'm recognizing that it's not like a satisfying way for me to be speaking to myself. Again, like if this is somebody else around you or other people around you, you could be in a space where you're like, you know what? Every time I interact with you, I feel like you're really closed off and I don't feel seen, and I feel like you're competitive with me. Maybe lots of different ways this can translate. And I'm seeing you be at a point where you're like, I want to be in a space where it feels safe to open my heart. And so that's what I'm moving towards right now. I don't want to be around this like shut down energy anymore, whether this be you, whether this be someone around you. And so I'm seeing something is evolving and something is changing. To have the Death card here, it may be feeling like painful. It may be feeling difficult at times. These are trials that you're going through right now, but I'm seeing you making changes for the better and allowing yourself to evolve, even if that means leaving some stuff behind. However, it's stuff that you feel is no longer suited for you anymore. And so I'm seeing there be this like deeper knowing that you have, that you are feeling that this is the right choice for you to be making. Definitely seems like you're taking some space for yourself, Time to reset, time to recharge. This would be something that you would have to actively carve out for yourself. I'm not seeing this be like in the itinerary unless you put it into the itinerary, okay? Like whatever this is, like self-care, resting, grounding. For some of you, like yoga, meditating, things like that. Exercising. Centering, focusing. Ah, that was part of a challenge for you. Yeah, you may have actually needed rest, and now is the time to be taking that. Giving yourself a break. Yes, something that you needed to do for your mental health, I'm seeing. Okay, so there is something new that you are going to be starting. So because of this break that you're taking, I'm seeing you feel very, very well rested. If you're not, this is making a move to get this rest that you need before you enter into this new cycle. I'm seeing there be something that you feel very, very connected with. It's the Ten of Cups and the Page of Wands. This is something that you'd feel really excited to connect with, where you're like, my heart is really in it, as opposed to you feeling like your heart was really not in something that you're moving away from. So now you're moving towards something that you feel like your heart is really involved in. You feel like this is really resonating with you. And I'm also seeing the Justice card here too, which means that this feels like it's the right call for you. You feel like your judgment is clear. And when you really like balance everything out and weigh your options, this seems like the way to go. I'm seeing this also be, there's a motivation to create more balance within your life too. Socially, for some of you, I'm hearing socially. Before, you could have felt very much like you were sort of being contained, but I'm seeing you making progress with that. Wherever you had felt limited or kind of like there was a wall that you were hitting, I'm seeing you breaking out of that. It seems like it was just a matter of like embracing change and a willingness to move forward with things and to really admit that something wasn't working anymore for you. And even like collect yourself too, because it seems like you decided to move away from a situation that like it did not feel good to be in anyway. And you really at a point where like, I feel not only that this is like not doing anything for me, but it's also not doing anything good for me. I'm seeing you be in a space like that where you may have felt that something was maybe harmful to you at a point. So I see you walk away from that and move into a space where you're like more grounded and collecting your energy and thinking about what you need, and it's like a more restful vibe before you start something that feels very vibrant and very connected to you. And I'm seeing you be in a space like it's like only days after you started this thing that feels very vibrant and you feel very connected with it, you're like, this was the right decision for me to make. So you're in a spot where you're like, my judgment was very clear when I made that choice, and I like the way that I did that, and like I'm trusting myself and I'm connected with my values, and this seems right to me. This may kind of be like a new set of rules that you're developing. To have the Fool and the Justice card, like there could be a new way that you're doing things that you feel is like more balanced or more progressive. Like even reevaluating something and then implementing it. Yeah, this works out very well for you, I'm seeing. Getting that this was like definitely a great choice, definitely one that is like breeding security for you. Stability, things of that nature. It seems too like this is about moving towards safety, security, stability within your life, rather than things that are getting like knocked down at every turn. This is about like what it is that you are building. And because of you making decisions that you're like, that's in alignment with me, and like even my moral compass, it can be, I'm making progress, like stacking up whatever this is that I'm building for myself. I'm like reaching my goals. I'm moving towards my goals. I feel like I'm making progress here. And I'm seeing you feel like all around better, even about yourself, towards yourself, because of the way that you're making these choices. And I am seeing you get, it looks like you are meeting with somebody or connecting with somebody or pairing up with somebody or partnering up with somebody that you feel is very much more your speed than whatever it was that you had been involved with before. But it took you leaving a situation that wasn't working and like truly seeing that and admitting that to find this thing that you do feel like is clicking into place for you. So I'm seeing that be important. So yeah, whatever this judgment was, where you needed to look at something and be honest with yourself about it and make the right call, it seems like you did exactly what was needed, even if it wasn't the easiest thing to do. It seems too like the only barrier for you, like the karmic test was, or the wall even that you felt like you were hitting, the only way to get through was to change. Because I'm seeing like you're only allowed to pass through if you embrace the death card. And so this means going through some sort of transformation in order to kind of like take shape, take form in like whatever new formulation you are meant to be standing up as within this cycle. And I'm seeing stability be on the other side of that. So yeah, something needed to shift, or you needed to like reorient yourself in some way. However, this change wouldn't have happened until you were open enough to it. Because I'm seeing something going on that's ego related. This would have come from a place of fear, okay? We can chalk it up to that. There may have been a lot of fear that was associated with allowing yourself to change and transform, but this is something that like your higher self would have been like kind of begging you to do this in a way. Like you would have really felt like your soul calling you and your ego being like, no, let's not do that at all. Because like obviously your ego is like, don't you need me? Don't you want me to stick around? But I'm seeing that it would have been holding you back ultimately, and it would have just come from a place of fear. So that was the resistance to the change that I'm seeing, but I'm seeing you go through with it. And I'm seeing there be like a lot of happiness that you feel that's on the other side of that. And now I'm seeing you getting connected, actually pursuing something that feels truly genuine to you. And you may have been like on a mission before where you were like, I'm doing this thing and I don't really feel involved, but I'm scared to move, I'm scared to change, and I'm scared to admit that, and I don't want that. And I mean, there's no judgment around that. It's just like you move at the pace that you feel comfortable with and you go in the direction that you want to. It's all about what you're willing to do. And it's just your journey. There's no judgment of it. There's no like assessment or evaluation. It's just stuff happening, right? And you getting to this point now, I'm seeing that there was a really brave choice that you made, and one that has you feeling more connected with yourself, more in alignment, and now doing something, being involved with something, going towards something that you feel a sense of fire, that you feel a sense of passion for. And now I'm seeing there be like a clarity that you feel, a clarity that you have, a clarity that you're seeing with, that you may not have been feeling you had before. but it was just about you like opening yourself up enough and like really taking a risk, really taking a chance, really believing in yourself. I'm getting like you opening yourself up and allowing yourself to maybe feel uncomfortable and to explore something. That was really the basis for all of this to happen. So yeah, definitely a move that you made for the betterment of you and for your expansion, and to feel like more connected with what you're doing and what you're participating in. So we're looking at Uranus, Pluto, Scorpio, Libra, Gemini. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.